I'm Mike Bradner, and this is Capitol Views, and we have with us today a new representative from Sutton, which is in the Mat-Su Valley. It's Representative Rauscher, okay, got that right. And George, tell us a little bit about yourself and your family and what you think about this whole process.
Sure, I moved to Sutton in 1976. I met my wife in King Cove. I was working on a couple of construction projects back then, and met her. She was playing piano in a church. We have 4 daughters. They're scattered all over various parts of the world right now. They're all grown. They're in their late 20s, and I have one that's actually 30 now. One in Oregon. I've got one that's married, and she's in Nashville. I've got one that actually lives in Sutton, and I've got one in Spain at this time. Before that, she was in Ireland. Before that, she was in Kenya. So she graduated college and decided to do some things out in the world.
Go out in the world.
Yeah, so it's been a really nice place to live. As I said, I've been there since 1976, so that's quite a while.
Now, as a profession, you did what? I mean, you're...
Construction, mostly. I was in the oil field for a little while as a carpenter. Then I went out on my own. I've worked on log buildings. I've worked on various construction projects all over the state of Alaska for various contractors. So I have to basically say that most of the work I've done is in construction. I've also done civil inspections for the Mat-Su Borough.
So what do you think about this process? Where are we going? What are we going to do this year?
Well,
that's an unfair question to a freshman, but it's not either. I mean,
well, I look at this as a really nice challenge, and the state, it has been able to provide for us in so many ways in the past through resources and the profits and our percentage thereof, and for some reason, the market has gone down a little bit, which has caused a lot of ways to rethink how we're going to provide for the budget. But you know what? I think what I really like to look at is how we can turn that around, those aspects around. There's resource development is something we just can't just give up on. I think it's a challenge. I think we need to find ways that we can make that happen again for the state. I think there are businesses that we need to look at in the ways we're doing business and become more friendly and invite more businesses into the state. I think that'll produce more jobs. I think that we also we have a challenge in front of us. It's the budget, and I think we need to look at the size of government that we have somewhat. We need to think about the size of government we can afford, not so much the one we want or the one we would like to have. It's more like the one we can afford. And I think that we're going to have to learn to work with each other to get there.
So you're serving on what committees?
Resources, energy, military and veterans affairs, and community and regional development. And of course we have the subcommittees which coincide with those.
And we have a lot of freshmen in the House.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you think, is that an asset or a detriment?
Well, I think it could be an asset. In a lot of ways, we don't really know how everything's been handled in the past. So we have a lot of our own ideas. We have a lot of our own concepts that we'd like to bring with us. And I think those are going to come to light. I think those are exciting to hear, all of these new challenges, the ideas that we have and the ones we want to bring to the table. So I think it's good for the state. I think some ways people were kind of hoping for something other than hearing what has happened over and over and over again, and with the new faces, I think that might not happen. I think we might go in a different direction.
We have to define our new future.
Pardon?
We have to define our new future.
Yes.
But, I mean, Mat-Su, I mean, it's a big place. I mean, it's bigger than most states. And you have, you know, an extended school system that, I don't know how far you bus kids sometimes, but it's a long way.
Well, you know, my district is huge. We have part of the Matsu Borough. We have Delta. We have Valdez, Glen Allen. We have...
You have Valdez in your district.
Yeah.
That's...
And we have the Denali Highway. I have 95% of the Denali Highway. 650 miles of federally funded state highways. We have the pipeline runs right down the right side of my district. We also have Whittier. Whittier is in our district. We have 2 ports. We have the ferry system. We have tunnels. We have bridges. We've got highways, railroads. We've got
That means
airports.
you have to do a lot of driving to get around.
A lot of
here.
driving. Oh yeah, I've wore out some shoes knocking on doors, and I wore some tires off my vehicle in the last 4 or 5 years that I've been campaigning. But it's been a challenge. It's been really exciting talking to people, finding out all the different ways of life out there, and the different ways people are making a living, the way people view life, the way they view our state, the way they view their representation. I think it's really exciting to actually listen to the different viewpoints from community to community, and each one of them has their own story to tell, and their own desires and their own wants. And I think it's if you actually met all the people in the district, you'd fall in love with them. It's a great place. Juneau's much the same way. People here
One of
are
the best
fantastic.
talents of a legislator is to be a good listener.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
George. We're out of time. It's been a pleasure to have you here, and we've been talking to George Rauscher from Sutton in the Matsu Valley, a new face on the scene here. And George, thanks for being with us. This is Capitol Views, and I'm Mike Bradley.
Thank you.